Hey everyone, it's Kiki. For many of us, it is a struggle to keep up with the class and write down everything in your notes so quickly. This is why today I'll be sharing 14 tips to take notes faster and write quicker. These tips mainly focus on taking notes quicker, not necessarily neater and more aesthetic. However, I will also touch on those topics in this video too. If you want to see more note-taking videos, I will leave my playlist up in the cards. Without further ado, let's begin. The first 5 tips will be strategic tips to increase speed when taking notes. Number 1. Make and use a key for your notes. I developed my own note-taking key 3 years ago and I still religiously use it today. Having a key for taking notes makes writing and organizing your notes much easier and quicker. Here is a quick general rundown of mine. I use boxes for titles, circles for information, stars for important information, question marks for questions, and triangles for answers. I also indent. For example, if the information is about the Title 1, I would indent the circle. And if Title 2 was a subtitle for Title 1, I would indent the square. This is just the general idea. Of course, I use other symbols as well. I highly recommend making and using something similar to this. 2. Use abbreviations and symbols. Writing shorthand makes life so much easier when it comes to writing notes quickly. I often leave out words such as a, an, and, the, and also use symbols and abbreviations for words I use a lot. Feel free to make your own abbreviations and symbols to make it easier for you. Once you get the hang of doing this, it will be much easier. Number 3. Write smaller. I find using thinner ruled paper or grid paper makes it easier for me to write smaller and in turn quicker. Writing smaller means less time you are spending having to move your hand for that extra half a centimeter of a stroke. Once you get in the habit, I think this could save you a lot of time. 4. Prioritize the information you are writing down. I often find myself writing down information I already know, thinking that I might forget it and just to be safe, but I end up instead not having enough time to write down the information that I actually don't know. This is why I recommend writing down the information that you either don't know or is more important first, and then, if you have time, writing the rest of the information later. Number 5. Do all the highlighting later. One way to make your notes look much prettier and more aesthetic, and also more efficient, is highlighting. Although this is a great practice, I recommend only highlighting after you have written everything and preferably after class at home. This ensures you get everything written down, your notes look much neater, your notes become more effective, and reading through and highlighting at home is also going to ensure repetition, therefore you remember better. The next 5 tips will be to do with your stationery. Number 1. Use a smooth, comfortable, non-smudge pen. It is a must to not only have a smooth pen, but also a comfortable and non-smudge one. I admit it may take a while to find the perfect one for you, but I assure you, you'll get there someday. My personal absolute favorite pen is the Pentel Energel Gel Ink pen in the size 0.4. The ink is super smooth yet non-smudge, and 0.4 is the perfect size for me. I have many videos regarding pens and recommendations, so if you need somewhere to start in terms of pens, definitely check those out. 2. Use a good whiteout and eraser. Not only is it important to have a great pen, it is also essential to have good quality whiteout or eraser. Stay away from liquid paper as they take forever to dry. Instead, turn to tape whiteout. My favorite is this whiteout from Daiso, however, I only stumbled by this on accident. Here I'll show you the difference between a good and bad whiteout. For erasers, my absolutely favorite is the Sakura Foam Arch Eraser, as it rubs out super quickly and does not break. Number 3, use a binder with smooth, loose leaf paper. Personally, I think books are too fiddly and hard to keep organized. I have been using binders and loose leaf paper for the last couple years, and they are honestly amazing. I recommend investing in smooth, durable paper in your favorite size. As a side note, if you want more legible, neat, and pretty notes, I recommend getting paper with lighter lines. As you can see, the difference in prettiness and legibility is massive. 4. Avoid using too many pens. Another major problem I see slows down people is the excessive use of different pens. These people constantly are picking up and throwing down different pens and are left with aching, sore hands, but worse, incomplete notes. Try to stick with as minimal types of pens as possible. Personally, I only use one pen and one colored pen, and occasionally a pencil and eraser. Try to keep it minimalistic. Number 5. Have sticky notes at the ready. This is such a lifesaver. I love keeping my notes organized. So if the teacher ever says something really important, but there is no organized space to write it, I just put it down on my sticky notes. Then, when I'm rewriting my notes, I can put that information down or just stick it right in. It's a simple but effective tip. Number 1. Don't fear messy notes. It is okay as long as you can understand. I also used to write as neatly as possible and would end up lacking a lot of core information. This is why you must accept that in order to write quickly and get everything written, it is not always going to be the neatest. But this is totally okay. As long as you can understand and it is slightly legible, it is fine. 2. Now, with what I said earlier, yes, your notes can be messy. However, it must still be organized. Don't be fooled. Messy does not mean disorganized. And on the flip side, pretty also does not mean organized. The most important thing with your notes is that it must be organized, efficient, and have all the information you need. Try to at least keep it somewhat methodical and easy to understand. Number 3, rewrite your notes later. I always do this. Knowing that when I get home, I'm going to rewrite everything so it's neater, prettier, and more organized, allows me to just scribble everything down. This is a life changer, and once you start doing this, you'll see that you remember things better too. Write messy, then rewrite at home. 4. Practice writing quickly and writing shorthand. Now, I'm not saying that you have to actively practice, but what I mean is next time you are writing notes in class, try going quicker and using some shorthand. Gradually, you will see the difference in your speed. I hope you enjoyed this video and you found it helpful. I have heaps and heaps of note-taking videos, so again, the playlist is in the iCards. I post study, stationery, note-taking, and productivity videos, so if you like this video and want to see more content from me, feel free to like, subscribe, and check out some of my videos too. If you have any suggestions or videos you would like to see from me, please let me know down below. Bye guys, happy studying!